And the most dishonest of the group at this point in time is Gavin Newsom, who was on, was this a rap podcast or an NBA podcast? He was on a podcast that compelled him to change his accent and start lying about his life. Remember, Newsom got a hot for a minute when he was talking to Republicans and conservatives. He's talking to Charlie Kirk. He was talking to Michael Savage. He was talking to Steve Bannon on his podcast. But his base didn't like it. So now he's back to pandering. And this is some of the ultimate pandering I've ever seen. Check out some of these clips.
It was also about paying the bills, man. And it was just like hustling. And so I was out there kind of raising myself, turning on the TV, started, just getting obsessed, sitting there with the Wonder Bread and 5 stacks of,
it's like the White Stack 5 story.
Come on. Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Man, bro. Are you talking about me?
Young YG.
YG,
but
man.
Every day in the backyard, just bouncing the basketball, throwing the ball against the wall until the ball is just like framed, man. And your arms fall
yourself.
off. That's it, whole thing. So just, and then, then this student that was shitty student is in the back with his head down, all of a sudden started throwing the baseball.
Gavin Newsom's dad was one of the attorneys, if not the top attorney, for Getty Oil, which is one of the biggest companies, I think, in the history of the country. It was a huge oil conglomerate. He was incredibly wealthy, and all of the documentation about his childhood was that he grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth, and he was the most fashionable person in his high school, and he always had political ambitions. And seems like his main job other than politics in his life was running a wine store. So you don't do that unless you're a person of deep privilege. And he's always been that way. And I just don't recall him lying about it before. This is pretty new. I don't actually recall him lying about it. But and then now he's going on a podcast with, I guess, rappers and basketball players. And he's talking about now all of a sudden he's from the streets because he ate Wonder Bread and macaroni and cheese. There's no evidence he did not grow up an incredibly wealthy, incredibly privileged person. And this is the first I'm hearing him not cop to that. So this is a change from the French Laundry guy who went to the French Laundry while he locked down his whole state, which is, $1,000 a person for a private party. And he was sitting inside. But I think they had big windows though. So that was okay. When all of us couldn't send our kids to school or go to church. He was at a $1,000 a head dinner, most famously. So it's just noteworthy how there's no level of lying they can't do. And just the idea that he's poor because he had to throw a ball against the wall when he was growing up. I threw balls against the wall growing up. I never thought of myself as poor.